is. I invited you to co-host too, and I see Marie's in there, but I invited her to speak, but I can give her, I know she needs a moment or whatever. How you doing, buddy? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Nice and toasty as always.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I went from Phoenix to Vegas and back to Phoenix. So it was like going from an oven to a microwave back to an oven. Vegas is a little cooler.
Take it. I just can't deal with humidity, dude. That's all.
Oh, dude, bring it on here. But we have our guest, our special guest here.
I want to clear up before we intro. I want to clear up just for some things to clear up real quick. Just one thing, actually. When we're asking people to sub to the channel and stuff, it doesn't cost anything. Like I've run into this a few times where I've asked people to sub to the channel and they're like, "How much is it?"
It's a YouTube subscription. It's free.
No, they don't know that though. So
I
know.
To
let people know.
Which I mean, I feel like that's crazy. I mean, yeah, no, I've kind of run into that too sometimes with some family and friends on Facebook. I'm like, guys, I understand they're not into wrestling. That's fine. I'm like, you don't have to watch this stuff, but just help me out a little bit here.
No,
help the algorithm.
I've had 3 people ask me how much.
Oh Jesus!
I'm like, dude, come on now. I'm not going to ask you to sub and give me $10, but
Hey. Yeah. Well, we'll work on it. We'll try to figure out how to make it that better. But yeah, our special guest, the host of the Squared Circle podcast, she really technically was our first guest. She came in on our first spaces as well. So happy to have her back. Marie Shadows, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me again. I am a 2-time returning.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
First time was kind of a pop-in. This time it's a formal invite, and you got the whole show. So
right, that was kind of the run-in. That was like her, the run-in debut, where like she came in mid-match. That was great. No, especially too because we don't really know what we're doing, so we're happy to be able to have people we can talk to and at least engage with. So happy to have you on for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where we want. Did you have any space you wanted to specifically get started, George? I mean, we could talk about Night of Champions and stuff.
I wanted to kind of follow up. Yeah. Last time we talked to Dose, he was talking about going to MLW with Marina. I kind of wanted to follow up with that real quick because that was on my mind.
Thank you. That did happen.
So, do you have any specific questions or because I just wrapped up MLW this week, on the 26th for Summer of the Beast. So anything specific or?
How was the specific show you went to with Dose? Dose was your guest, kind of, right?
Yeah, he was. So Dose went to the show that I went to, which was Summer of the Beast over here in New York City at the Melrose Ballroom. He got a VIP, lanyard. So he was making jokes and stuff like that. He brought his family, he brought his friend with him. So I made some new connections, some new friends, even though I was running around, still making sure that everybody in the, venue was good and then, was taking some video and stuff and putting that online. But yeah, Dose had a blast. His buddy had a blast.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your official title there? What do you do for them exactly? So I know.
So it goes between being media press, right? And being freelance. So this is what I always do when I work for promotions is that I am very thankful for getting, the media press, credited, right? So I go in, I have my lanyard. I'm able to go to the wrestlers and talk with them and stuff like that. However, I do tend to, talk to the people that give me those opportunities and be like, hey, where do you need me? I am adaptable. I can help you here. I can help you there. Wherever you need me, let me know. And that's exactly what I did on the 26th to help out with the meet and greets. I was helping with the Joshi, meet and greets. With Yuki and Mystical, meet and greet lines. So yeah, I'm always, talking to my people that are there and I'm always like, hey, where do you need me? So if you really want a title, it's between media press and or freelancer, cause I do not sit down. I'm not the type to be like, thank you for giving me this. I'm going to sit here, twiddle my thumbs until the show starts. No, it's like, cool, you gave it to me. Now let me work for it.
Cool. That's great. No, that's awesome. Doing what do you need? Where can I be? It's like Johnny on the spot kind of role. Hey, I mean, every good organization needs someone to do something like that. So that's cool. And plus, if you're able to kind of have that chameleon and work and talk to anybody, just put on different hats. Are we doing press over here? Are we doing merch over there? Or crowd control, whatever you need. That's great experience for you as well. That's awesome. I've heard nothing but I don't watch much MLW, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. I remember, what was it when they had the match on Vice a couple years ago where it was, Jacob Fatu versus Hammerstone. I was hoping that was going to get them a TV deal, but didn't work out. Man, it's good to see that they're putting so much back into it, and from what at least I see online and from who I've talked to, everybody who goes to their shows has a great experience.
It does. It is really like a good experience. Like if you're on the fence about going to MLW, the tickets are $15. No matter where you go, $15. If you want to do like meet and greet, obviously that's a little bit more, but it will not break, the bank. But everybody that I have worked with on the MLW roster and the MLW, ring crew, which I know them from, the indie days and stuff like that. Everybody is super nice. Everybody is, very accommodating. Everyone will make sure that like the fans are sent home happy. And then like, for this event, some of the fans remembered me from, December. So, right. So it was kind of funny talking to them. And, one of them actually followed me on Twitter. And then when I go and check the profile, I was like, oh shit, it's you. It was that kind of interaction because I was just explaining. I was explaining like, Okada was like backstage and shit. And he was like, what, really? And I was like, yeah, man. And then he was like, I was there watching the ceremony of the New Japan guys getting the awards. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, you were? Oh shit. You were online not too long ago, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of fun.
That's great.
Is MLW strictly out there in New York or are they around the whole country? Right?
So basically, they tour around a specific states. They still haven't managed to get into other different types of markets, but they do go down to Mexico. And that's as far as they go as of right now. Obviously they're still looking to expand and go everywhere else, but money and all that, but they go to Mexico and then they tour around, the United States.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'll keep an eye out because there's not a great independent scene here in the Phoenix, Arizona area, but there is some actually. I think it was last night actually. Elena Black, formerly Cora Jade, had a match at the Arizona Wrestling Federation and won the title. I would have gone to that match if I didn't go to Vegas, but
yeah.
Well, the trip to Vegas, my wife won it through a radio contest, and so we had free hotel.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, why not? Because we live. I mean, it's literally a 45-minute flight from Phoenix to Vegas. So
yeah.
Now MLW, are they strictly on YouTube? Where can I watch it so I can catch up on stuff? Where am I going?
So basically, you could do two things. You could go on their YouTube channel, which is obviously youtube.com/MLW, or you can listen to me and Dose Evil on the Square Circle podcast recapping MLW. But YouTube is the best bet.
Okay.
All right. Is there like who would you say is like their best? Do they have anybody like on their that we would know that's like an up and comer on the roster? I know they've got people like I know like Riddle's part of it and stuff too, but is there anybody on their roster that like people should keep an eye out for?
Well, they did just sign this wrestler named Diego. They signed him right after his match with Kushida, and he put on a great showing, a really, really great showing. He is a high flyer. He's brand new because I really don't know anything about him, but there's that. Obviously, support Brock Anderson and the Andersons, because they're doing wonderful. Most of the guys that I would have put over right now are no longer with MLW. Like I would have put over, BRG. I would have put him over. I would have, put over Alex Kane again, but they're not with the company at the moment. Obviously we have, Bishop Dyer, who's, Baron Corbin.
Right.
He promised me, well, I don't know if it's a promise, but, he said he got me because I said I wanted to collaborate with him because I need him to teach me how to cook a steak. So hopefully that goes through, cause I don't know how to cook a steak. But yeah, those are the ones that are coming to mind, at like off the top of my head. But everyone deserves, my buddy, Quan, he would have been so upset if I didn't put him over. He's my personal buddy. Nice. We're friends in real life and whatnot. Cool. So him, look out for him and stuff. And yeah, I'll just end it right there.
That's awesome.
I know what I remembered to ask. This popped into my head. Was Hikuleo there?
No, not that I know of.
I didn't think so. I'm getting my companies mixed up.
Jacob, obviously Jacob, and like Juicy Fatu and Lance Anoa'i.
Okay, I'm gonna get them confused with somebody else. There's so many of them, I can't keep.
Well, yeah, there's so many wrestling promotions and so many in the actual family. So yeah, it's pretty easy to get confused on those ones. No foul.
So on a side note, Marie, how do you like your steak cooked?
Okay, so listen, I'm
gonna give you some pointers here real quick.
I am the type of person that will want it well done only because, listen, hold on, wait, you can't. Listen.
She had this prepared. I like it.
Listen, the only reason why I say well done is because if I see any kind of like red or pink, I'm not like, my brain is like, no, that's bad. However, I do, because I'm half Puerto Rican, I'm able to make like pepper steak and beef stew, and I'm used to that. But if you gave me like a steak, like a heavy red meat steak, I would tell you, hey, I need it at least well done, nice and juicy, at least a little bit, but no like red or pink, just because, my brain doesn't understand that might be a good thing. So you can't fault me. I don't know.
No, it's tough to make a well done steak that's juicy.
Okay.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah. No, I get that though. My wife had similar issues, but when we were first dating and stuff, and I kept showing me nothing. It's okay. It's once you get past that point, you're in for some greatness, because George is absolutely right. But I fully get it, because I lived through it with my wife 100%.
So I think you'd be a good person for a medium well done steak.
Okay, I think
work your way back.
Well.
Yeah, that's the thing is, don't, if you're used to what you're used to, don't like immediately just try to go for like, a medium rare steak or something like that. Just go back a little bit, and then if that's good, you work your way back till you find that right level.
Yeah.
No, but that could be a good series or like a good video though. You and Bishop cooking.
He should have his own cooking show. He's a great cook.
Right. That's why at the event, like I tapped him on the shoulder with all the freaking confidence I had and told him about it. And I was like, bro, I need you to teach me how to cook a steak, man, because I don't know. But I need to follow up with him so that he could kind of remember. Matt Riddle remembered me, which was kind of, a cool little neat experience. And I got to hang out with him a little bit more.
Does he have any chance of going back to WWE?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Take your personal opinion.
My personal opinion?
I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think so either. He's having way too much fun. And just with my little interaction with him and, us having a little tiny like conversation, I will say it here, and I'll probably say it on my podcast anyway, that I do think he's very misunderstood. He is very misunderstood.
I can believe that. Yeah, I can believe that.
That's just based on the conversation that I had with him. And then, trying to make people, not really trying to make people laugh. He makes people laugh anyway. And then the shit he be saying too, man. I'm just like, you are one misunderstood guy.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of those people, where sometimes he's trying to say, like in his head, he's got the way he wants to say it, and then he says it out, and he's like, oh shit, that didn't come out right. But you see,
I mean, if I hang out with him a little bit more, that might happen, but, my conversation with him didn't get there yet.
That's okay.
I don't think that could be a good pod or a good show, even because I feel like the dynamic would be so different. That'd be cool. I feel like he's one of those guys that I'm kind of with George. And also too, you forget how much older he is. So yeah, I would like to see him come back and have a good career, because, he seems like a good dude. But if he's having fun and making money and doing well with what he's doing, that's really all that counts. And what matters.
I will say this though, that every time he has a meet and greet, it's always sold out, and he makes sure that the fans at least get like a couple minutes, chatting with him and whatnot. Yeah, there's some like returning fans that like know him. And I found this out like, during the December show, when I was helping him out with the meet and greet and stuff. So, fans come back and he recognizes fans. Like when he saw me, I was just, okay, so all day I was basically going around and saying hi, because I followed the old tradition rule of shaking everybody's hand and saying hi. So I was doing that. I was doing that, and then like once Riddle sees me, it was like, hey Marie, and whatnot. He's like, hey, what are you doing and whatnot? And I told him what I was doing that day, and then I was like, yo, I was gonna ask you for a hug or whatnot, and you know, he ended up giving me a hug, but that him remembering me was like really, really cool. So he does that for his fans.
That's cool. I just think he doesn't come across on social media so well. I think that's his only problem. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Is this that people take advantage of the things that he says? That's why it's a little like, for anybody that wants to interview people out there, this is some advice. Don't just try to do gotchas, and don't just try to be like, you know, what's the next clickbait headline? Because, you know, the way that Matt Riddle talks, it depends on what you get. So sometimes he'll say something that maybe he didn't mean it that way, but it's going to get spun in a way where it's going to make Matt Riddle look bad, but he might have had good intentions, just said the wrong thing. And and that's exactly what like I was hearing during our mini conversation of just catching up. And I'm just like, yo, there's just so much more. I know we're saying on Riddle a lot more, and you guys might get the heat, but just send the heat my way. It just seems like this weekend was me getting all the heat from all the people that don't know how to read.
and oh my God, is there a lot of those people? Jeez. That's what I was thinking, what I was trying to say earlier, where it's like, you know, he's probably got the right idea of what he wants to say or how to come across, and it just, in that little, what they clip out of it and what makes the headline didn't come out exactly right, but in context, it would be so much. That's the problem nowadays too, is people, you nailed it. They just want to get the gotcha. They just want to, you know, who cares about being right? They just want to, you know, have their moment, get the headline. And that's kind of why, like with this show and what George and I are trying to do, is we're being more like conversationalists. Like, you know, we're not trying to interview, we're just, let's have a cover. And that's why we can go anywhere. We talk, you know, the conversation leads to steak. Great. We'll talk about that for a bit. Like, it doesn't always have to be in that. And that's kind of more what we're trying to be. So that's, I'm glad you said that, because that's what we will take that advice 100%. We're still figuring it all out. So that's awesome. I'm glad you said that about him, because I feel like that's because all you see about him, especially in the world now, are those clips, or like, you know, the headlines from whatever sites where they just, they put just that one clip for that one quote. And it looks ages. And I at least feel like you would hopefully that like the people that had said about no to look in for the full context of it, but you don't know.
Turning our way to the NJPW area.
Read my mind, buddy. That's literally where I was headed next. I'll let go for it.
I'm interested to see. I can't watch him anymore because I'm not sure where they can find him anymore. I used to watch him on Access TV, but I don't have it anymore, and I'm not sure they're even still there. So I don't know what they're not. Okay.
So basically, all you have to do is go to njpwworld.com, get a subscription for $9.99 a month,
and then you can watch everything.
Yeah, but make sure that you subscribe on the first of the month, because I mean, I don't think they do that weird shit that they did before, but just trust me, subscribe on the first of the month and you should be okay.
It's like the Bone Thug song, first of the month. Just remember that. No, I get
you. Just subscribe then. But what's up? What's your question about New Japan?
What's happening over there? Who should I be looking at now? Who's AEW going to steal next? Stuff like that.
Those are some loaded questions, sir.
I know. I wanted you to take some time.
Okay, so I am going to have to probably say this. I no longer have my subscription, just because of the way that New Japan Pro Wrestling is going. And I know if people out there call me a hypocrite, so what? I don't really care. I only did it because of a budget reason, and that New Japan Pro Wrestling right now is bare bones. Currently right now, New Japan Pro Wrestling is heading into the G1 Climax 35. Usually there should be hype around the G1, but I'm like, guys, we've seen these guys before, and like, in my heart of hearts, I'm torn between like David Finlay winning and Tsuji winning, just so that way they could get a championship title match and they could become champion. Cause right now it's Zack Sabre Jr., 2-time champion, because he tapped out Goto and ended the Goto Revolution. And I'm just like, what are we doing, New Japan Pro Wrestling? What are we doing? Now, if it turns out that Goto got an injury, okay, fine, whatever. However, I have been saying this on my podcast ever since. Zack Sabre Jr. has been getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and no one else has gotten it. Right. David Finlay is still the New Japan Cup winner. Why is that not being pushed to the forefront of him like winning his stuff? He just lost his match against Evil with the dog collar freaking dog collar match. Yeah, that's what it is. But he's still like he didn't get a chance at the title. I would say to continue to support Bullet Club, even though it looks like they might just freaking end Bullet Club sooner or later. Like, I don't know where they're going with this. Because Fale, who's like the last of the last of the last of Bullet Club, joined over House of Torture. Like, how crazy is this? And Chase Owens, we don't talk about him. Fuck that guy. Goes over to Bullet Club. I might get heat. I don't really care. But he goes over to House of Torture because he's a follower like everybody else. And House of Torture has gained more members. And I'm like, what is going on? Oh yeah, House of Torture also gained Doki. What are we doing? Doki is like the fan favorite. I understand that LIJ is no longer a team, but Doki is a fan favorite. And then he came back from injury. And oh my God, dude, where's New Japan heading? I have no idea. I don't even know if any of the wrestlers are like Tony Khan worthy of Tony Khan taking it again. However,
oh my gosh.
Speaking,
think of the bar. That's
what happened?
I was just thinking, think of like what all that entails. Like if it's not Tony Khan worthy, like, because there's a point where he'll just take any. So yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, so I don't think right now there is no Tony Khan worthy New Japan wrestler he's gonna take. However,
them all.
I know he's gonna take them all, but so it's like collecting Pokemon, but I love Pokemon. Like, oh my God, why brain? Jesus. I don't know why my brain thought about that. I love Pokemon. Anyway.
Because it's what he's done, and because he would base his life off of a cartoon, without that money. It makes sense. I'm with you.
Yeah, man. But my brain, I like Pokemon. I don't want to give Pokemon like a bad reputation. It's Tony Khan. You gotta catch them all. Like, oh my God. Okay, I'll stop. Anyway,
I love it.
I was going
to somewhere.
I was just, yeah, I know. So I was gonna tie this into me getting a lot of heat today because people did not understand what I said. And they twisted it, and it deals with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it deals with MLW. So we all know that AEW has damaged New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's bare bones. It really is. So in MLW, which this will probably appear later. But the chairman of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Sugabayashi, which I was like, oh shit, you're still there. I didn't know that. Now I do. I'm going to be tagging him in my tweets to be like, yo, New Japan needs help. I can help you. So Sugabayashi was there, and the legendary referee Tiger Hattori was there, and MLW presented them with awards. Now, I was not briefed ahead of time that this shit was happening, okay? So I'm watching this in real time, fucking tearing up that MLW is appreciating their other partners, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And the only reason why I was tearing up is because I didn't think that they still had a good relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling after everything that has been going on. Sure, we still had Kojima, Kenta still came around, Okamura still came around, Kushida came around here and there, but it wasn't like a big thing when the partnership was first announced with MLW. So seeing that live, I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then I go and tweet out, just having a conversation saying, I'm hoping MLW to save New Japan Pro Wrestling. And everybody, well, not really everybody, maybe like 2 people and maybe other people, haters that are blocked and all that kind of people, came after me because they couldn't read. Because I am very, very hopeful that like MLW can give New Japan Pro Wrestling that platform to continue to still have their name out there and the wrestlers out there, and the wrestlers get used to the American crowds, because MLW props up all of their partners in a way where it's like, I want to support that person. I want to support that company. AEW hasn't done that yet. So you might be seeing
partnership. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So we might be seeing maybe a shift, but then again, I have nothing to really confirm. I can only tell you guys what I've seen, what I've experienced, and that's about it. But going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1 is coming up. I will not be covering the G1. If something looks interesting, if any of my followers are like, hey, check this out, or hey, this happened, I might talk about it, I might not. But I just need New Japan Pro Wrestling to make some really better decisions. Oh yeah, and by the way, they held a press conference, because they signed a judo guy by the name of Aaron Wolf that I have no idea who the hell he is. But for some reason, the internet, especially on Twitter, are like, oh, you should know who he is. He does judo and he's an Olympic judo medalist. I don't know.
Oh, I've heard of him. Yeah. I know. I don't know who he is, but I've heard of the name because I remember singing in the Olympics.
Oh, I have no idea.
I couldn't pick him out of the lineup, but I know, I've heard the name. That's all.
Yeah. So he signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's going to be training to be a wrestler, and he debuts next year, and I think they said that he's going to have a match against Tanahashi, since Tanahashi's on his retirement tour next year. And I'm like, you called a press conference for this, and you did not say you called up Triple H or WWE. This is why I be tagging Tanahashi in all my tweets to be like, bro,
is he the booker? Is he the booker there, Tanahashi?
No, it's still Gato. But okay. That's about it. Yeah, it's Gato. And it's probably, I don't know. I mean, I would think it's also Rocky Romero too, cause he has his hands in like all this shit. And I'm just like, guys, what the fuck?
Yeah, it sounds like you've thrown your hands up in the air. Speaking of which, you just have had enough of this. Sounds like it to me, because last time we talked to you, you were big and you were going hard on NJPW. This time you seem a little more down.
I mean, when you want something to get better for so long, and you can see, like, no, here's what you should be doing, and they do the exact opposite enough times.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just. What do they say? Like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing. I mean, you're just like, I'm not an insane person. I can't keep watching. I can't keep investing my time in this. And that's sad for us to hear, because, we don't know. I admit it. I don't have enough time. I haven't watched too much of NJPW, but I try to at least see highlights, do what I can on Twitter. And there's certain people that I would follow or listen to if there is anything going on. But if there's nothing going on, you got nothing to talk about. I mean, hopefully.
That's exactly why, I've noticed that, like, it's so down and low, and the stories don't make sense. The angles are not really exciting. Like, so let me put this into perspective. The first Bullet Club Civil War, I did not really, I was just like, why are we doing this? But I get it in hindsight. But the second so-called Bullet Club Civil War between House of Torture and Bullet Club War Dogs, if they knew ahead of time that they were gonna have more members join House of Torture, right? They should have had Bullet Club War Dogs lose that cage match, even though Bullet Club War Dogs are like my favorite aside from like House of Torture. But story-wise, if they knew into the future that they were going to add more members to House of Torture, have Bullet Club lose, so that way everything could make sense. And then, because for some reason Tanahashi wants to take down Bullet Club, and he kept saying Bullet Club when he means House of Torture. and he wants to take them down. So why not, like, have Bullet Club War Dogs lose the cage match, make this epic Avengers fucking storyline where everybody gets together and they have one common goal to take down House of Torture, and that is for the rest of the year. And somehow work it into the G1, work it into World Tag League, and bam! You will have American fans being like, oh shit, this is fun.
You had me sold by it. I would have been interested in that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right? That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I also think if you could have a partnership with WWE, you could maybe somehow get AJ or Finn involved, or both of them involved somehow. No, there's a lot they could do with it.
Tama and Hikuleo and Loa, get the guys back together. Throw in Dominic Mysterio just because I just want to see what the fuck he does.
He's great everywhere. Like, literally you could plug that dude in anywhere. I I don't know. To me, it's the greatest 180 in the history of professional wrestling is where he was until he hit Edge in the balls, and it was just where he's gone. It's that. I mean, that might be the greatest story in the history of wrestling. Like he went from where no one cared about him at all to being the most hated and booed person on TV to getting cheered at WrestleMania for winning the IC title. Just, I love it. It's the best. Yeah. So I'm on. Put him in Japan. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I wanted to mention too is that, Japan is the anime capital of the world. And every time you watch an anime, it's always so big, so grand. They have the craziest monsters, the craziest, robotics and stuff like that. And it's like, and Tanahashi loves that kind of stuff too. Like he loves all that big spectacle stuff. And whenever you talk about Tanahashi, he is the light of like New Japan Pro Wrestling because of everything that he's done, right? So he's like larger than life. Why are they not utilizing the one thing that makes Japan, their anime stuff and how they do storytelling in anime with what they're doing currently in New Japan? Like use it to your advantage.
Definitely, yeah. We should send a copy of this recording over there.
Seriously, like I'll clip it into different parts. I'll have a complete New Japan.
Yeah, man. Like, listen.
Whenever you post those, let us know. We'll tag it. We'll repost them for you. Get you involved with it. It'd be better than anything they're doing. It would be interesting. You had us sold.
Yeah, man. I love New Japan because, their storytelling, like, really, like, resonated with me. I really enjoyed it. I was able to tell you guys exactly what was going on. How the storylines went, and I was like really hooked on it. Now it's just like, where the fuck is that soul at? Like you guys used to have soul. And also a fun little thing if you want to know, since Kenta was there at MLW on the 26th, I finally got to finish my story and meet the one wrestler that I so love, and basically fangirled and told him that I said thank you for getting me into Pro Wrestling Noah, because he was the first person to do that, and I told him that I was live in person in Ring of Honor days to watch Kenta versus Takeshi Morishima. So his face lit up and he was like, oh shit, I'm dealing with someone that knows her shit.
Knows who you are, yeah.
Yes.
So I was just telling Kenta, like, I followed your whole entire career from, New Japan, Bullet Club, WWE, all this kind of stuff, right? And then, I also told him that, like, I even said that I use my platform to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling and help it improve because I wanted to improve. And he kind of agreed with me. He was like, yeah, like, he was agreeing with me. And then, Kenta being freaking adorable. After I told him all of this, he just looks up at me because he was sitting down. He looks up at me and he's like, I went back to Pro Wrestling Noah, right? And I was like, yes, I know. Like, I know you went back there. I just don't have the money to like get the subscription. And he kind of chuckled. I was like, bro, I know you went back home, man. And in my head, I was like, you went back home because New Japan is not treating you how they should be treating you, dude. Like I automatically know.
How long has Kenta been there?
Where?
Back in Noah?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought completely. What I was thinking. I'm sorry. I have to come back to this one because I fucked.
No. You're just thinking like, well, how long have you been back in Noah?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I lost my brain.
That's why we're a team, bro. That's what we do.
Yeah. I thought he was either gonna ask about Noah or like MLW. He's been in Noah. He's been back in Noah for maybe, I'm gonna take a guess here, maybe like 2 years. Because he went back a little bit before WWE got the partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah. And then once that happened, I tweeted out like, so there's a chance that we could get Kenta versus CM Punk, and Pro Wrestling Noah loved it.
Wow, that would be great.
I was like, man, it has to happen. CM Punk owes Kenta royalty, man, for everything that he's done.
Right. I mean, yeah, for them, yeah, no, absolutely. We need that one and Punk versus Austin. We need those two.
I am curious. How long has Bullet Club been around? One form or another. Seems like 25 years.
What? No.
Am I wrong? No, too much?
Yeah, too much. Give me a second, because Back in May we celebrated it. Okay, so 2013.
That's when it started?
Yeah.
That doesn't. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else, or.
I mean, it's getting there to like 20 years in a way.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah, maybe okay. I'm down.
Yeah. 2013.
I mean, it was so big for that point from like 15
That's
to
why,
18. It was massive.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. Yeah. It's one of those things too, where like, even when you were saying how there's so many factions and breakups, that even Tanahashi was getting it wrong with the names of it and stuff. Like it's one of those things. There's so many iterations of it too. So I just pulled up the Wikipedia page. It's out of control. There's so much on here.
Yeah, man.
That's not good.
So much.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. No, you're good. I was done. You're good.
Okay. I was going to say, Marie, last time we talked to you, you were talking about Hikuleo.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of work my way into what'd you think of his debut yesterday?
Oh, I popped. And then basically, I was like, oh, he got into shape pretty quick. Because when he was on,
was he 6'8"?
Yeah, man, he's a tall guy. And I'm here,
big boy.
I'm here like, bro, your dad is not even that tall. How the fuck did this happen?
Right, they're usually, usually the Samoans they're all usually pretty wide. I mean, they're tall enough and pretty wide. He's what is he? He has 6'7", 6'8". He's massive. What do you think his name will be when
I don't know. I'm still gonna call him Hikuleo.
Oh, absolutely. No, for sure. I have yet to call Jeff Cobb JC Mateo. Like, and I didn't even watch him that much as Jeff Cobb, but I knew he's Jeff Cobb. Like, that's just who it is.
Didn't they sign to apply for Talatanga?
Yeah, which is so stupid. But who knows?
Right, yeah.
But then again, Hikuleo is Tongan rather than Samoan.
Yeah, they really don't care. Jeff Cobb's Hawaiian. They don't give a crap.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, at least with Hikuleo, he's, what's he? Haku's his uncle, right? Is that right?
No, his dad.
Haku's his dad? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus. That man's cat. Yeah,
that's his dad.
3 of his points. Yeah.
I've never seen Hikuleo actually wrestle, Marie. So what can we look for? What can we expect from him? Because I've never seen him.
So when he was in New Japan Strong and a little bit on New Japan Pro Wrestling, he's a big guy. Obviously, he's a big guy. Do not expect any high flying moves. Expect big guy moves. He knows how to use his height to his advantage and stuff like that. Obviously he knows the fundamentals of wrist lock, collar and elbow tie up, all the basic stuff. He has a very good way of storytelling. It depends on who he is, who he's doing the story with. So when he was with Bullet Club and he was with, Jay White brought out another side to him that was a really good interpretation of like what you will see in WWE, hopefully, since WWE likes to focus on storytelling and segments and stuff like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice, treat. Since Hikuleo is like super tall, he might just be an enforcer in a way, because like, why would you wanna attack a giant, a tree? But I probably say that because I'm short, and I'll be able to fit into his pocket. So like, I'm not gonna run at this guy. I'm not gonna run at him. So I guess I'm just saying that for my own sake. And by the way, he still owes me an interview.
Hey, let's make that happen. I'd
make sure this gets to him.
He still owes me an interview. I will say that.
Has Hikuleo and Jacob Fatu ever wrestled against each other that you know of?
No, because Hikuleo is the baby. So he's sort of like the quote unquote like last one to come in, similar to how like Solo is like the last one to come in that like aspect if you really think about it. They never fought.
That's good.
That's
one of my wanted to see matches. I'd love to see that one.
Yeah. Sign me up. No, and according to Google, yeah, you were right. He's 6'8". Jesus, no, I'm glad, I'm glad that debut finally happened because people were trying to make it seem like I think he probably had some nagging injuries and had to get himself into good shape. And like you said, he looked ready to rock and roll. I'm excited to see what happens on Friday.
Yeah, man. Same here. I'm just happy that all of my boys, I'm going to call them all of my boys because I'm also friends with Tama. Tama allowed me to be on his podcast back in the day.
Oh, so, awesome.
Yeah. So, they're basically all my guys. Jacob is my guy too. Have nothing but love for him. And I'm just happy to see all of them, what they're doing.
Yeah. And it is great. Like it's one of the, especially too for what you'd heard about Jacob, about how like older regime wouldn't even give him a shot up for his past and didn't give him a chance to have that second. Cool. Yeah. I mean, cause everybody deserves a second chance and he clearly wanted to put in the work and holy shit, has he put in the effort, got himself over. Like it's incredible to see. And so I'm very excited to see where that goes now. Cause Hikuleo versus Jacob Fatu. I mean, if it's SummerSlam's too early, it does seem like a SummerSlam match, especially for 2 nights. Like, sign me the fuck up for that. Yes, please.
Murray, do you like where your boys are at right now? Like storyline wise? I know you like where they're at in WWE, but do you like where they're at in their gimmick? You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean, no, not necessarily. Cause if you're going to bring in gimmick, as in, like, are we comparing it to something?
No, I'm just asking, like you've seen your boys all wrestle and different personality wise. Do you like where Solo is, his personality, his character? I hate using the word character. I really do. That sort of way. I said gimmick for not saying character. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got it. Well, I will let my boys, be my boys and whatever WWE, tells them to do, it's gonna be fine. Nothing to me is out of the ordinary to where I have to be like, what are you guys doing? Right. Like, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Like, for example, Tama's a great example of this. What you see Tama, is doing in WWE is just a really like 0 to 1,000 of what he used to do in Bullet Club, when he was with Finn Balor, after Finn Balor was, the Young Bucks, and Kenny. So like that stuff that he did during that era of Bullet Club is like 0 to 1,000 in WWE. It's totally fine. Jacob is great. Jacob can do whatever the hell he wants cause, Jacob is awesome. Hikuleo, I want to see what they're going to do. Loa is still that enforcer. So he's still that like brother right next to Tama that you can rely on him. I don't know, like, Solo and obviously the Usos, like, personally, but we're gonna be talking about, like, character-wise. Solo is freaking funny. Solo is Jimmy P, man. Like,
he's great.
He's great.
Come around.
Yeah, man, he's really good. He makes me laugh with some of the stuff that he does. I consider him to be, like, Jimmy .2, cause Jimmy is also funny. Jay can be funny. I do worry about Jay's character and where it's heading because like even though we say that wrestlers should get over with the crowd, it's okay to have a catchphrase, it's okay to do this, but I just don't want Jay to be remembered as the guy when he goes into the ring to be like, hey guys, I got 4 words, right. And then it's like I just don't want that to like 100% stick to him to the point where it's like, oh, this is cringe now when we look back on it. Like,
yeah.
Now, like
during his Hall of Fame ceremony, he comes out yeeting. You don't want to.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Okay. That's the only exception.
Here's the thing about that. While I agree with it, I mean, every time all they got to do is splice in enough of the videos where he brings a kid with him and just the smiles on those kids' faces next to him. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not a parent. I don't have kids, but even as I'm like, damn, that really gets me. Like it's every time you see it, it's just like, those kids are gonna be fans for life. Like for life. Yeah. It's amazing. Like you can't like, I hope they could, I'm with you though, I hope there is some evolution to him with it. Cause it is kind of, you don't want to say it's a one trick pony, but it kind of is, but you see why it is at this point too though. Cause I mean, the fans, I mean, when I went to Raw on, what was it, the 9th of, I went to Raw on the 9th of June and like, the picture that I took, cause I was in the corner of the arena, like everybody's arms were up, like it going up. And it's just, it's one of those things that just, it has really gotten over and it really clicks and it's amazing live. But yeah, no.
Yeah. It's just that, like, as much as I do like it because I do feel like happiness when I watch it and whatnot, it does feel good. I just don't want it to be like, he can't pivot or do something else because he'll be known exactly for that. And now I know when people hear this, they're going to be like, I'm a hypocrite because, we always say, whatever The Rock says back in the day, what Stone Cold said back in the day, like all the greats and like they're like one-liners. However, Jay is a little bit different because it's like, he is a good wrestler. He could tell a good story. I just don't want that to be bogged down, for him not to showcase everything that he knows how to do over the many years he's been with WWE,
For sure. What I will say though is at least like this is, cause they said that he was like, for both him and Jimmy, that they were only ever going to be tag wrestlers. They weren't ever going to break off. So this is his first real foray into it. So hopefully it does continue to grow, but at least he has this with it. Cause there was a point in time where that was all they were going to be was tag wrestlers and nothing more. So it's cool to see that he's been able to really break out of that and be a single star, especially with that. It's not even that he was wrestling with his brother, but with his twin, like he said way back when in 2020, which one are you? It's cool to see that evolution of where from then to now is a massive difference. And it's cool to see.
Yeah.
But you're right. But that's then to now. We're talking in, at the end of June 2025. If we're talking like, SummerSlam 2026 and it's the exact same with nothing else, then you're right. Cause there's only so many years left in people's career. And cause he'll go in with Jimmy as the Usos, but he'll also go in on his own. And you don't want all those videos to just be nothing else. I'm with you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. There's just gotta be a bit more. Yeah. I'm with you there, but I have faith that he'll do it just because of how well he's gotten this over and done this pretty much out of nothing. So we'll see though. I'm with you.
Murray, kind of a weird question here. Strange one.
Okay.
Not strange, but different. How long have you been a wrestling fan? Year-wise, about 20, 30?
Since I was 7 years old.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a current time period where there's more tweeners? Like the good guys aren't really all good. They're kind of half heelish, half good guy. And the fans are applauding the bad guys, so they're not really bad. They're kind of good. I've never seen a period in my life like this right now, where more fans are rooting for the bad. I'm so confused. I don't know who's supposed to be what. Have you noticed that or?
It's.
Or is it just my age?
No. It's not your age. I will say, generally speaking, it's been like that throughout all of the years of professional wrestling. However, I will say in this current day and age, this modern wrestling, we have that more now just because people want wrestlers to feel like they get a imaginary participation trophy for doing the work that they're supposed to be doing and making them feel good. And I understand that like, people should get told, every now and then, like, oh, you're doing a good job. But if a heel is needing to be a heel, let them be a heel. If you resonate with the heel, with them being a heel, and you're like, yeah, I can support this guy, still, just boo the guy. But later on, just be like, hey, I support you, like whisper it. But, cut it off, man. Like, stop changing the rules in wrestling just because you want everybody to get like a golden star.
Yeah, I've noticed it big time. Like, Seth Rollins comes out, everyone sings his music, and then.
Oh, by the way, can we talk about that for a second?
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys and fans who are listening to this, please stop singing their music.
Thank you.
George and I brought this up on one of our shows recently, whether it's Spaces or whatever. They need to just change his music because, like, it's not going to stop people. People have really resonated with woes these days, whether it's Cody or him or whatever.
Yeah,
so
like,
they just need to change it and have it be something completely different that is heelish because that would be that final straw where they can't just go and be heels.
So my problem with it is that, like, if it was for big pay-per-view events, right, where, I don't know, the main event feels very, very unique, heavy, and you're very invested and you want to sing appreciation, like it should be done for like special occasions. The whole singing of like Cody Rhodes kind of bullshit thing, that is annoying. That is super annoying. I blame
the European audience for all that.
I do. I blame the UK on that.
And France. You can't hold out France. They were very vocal over there.
Just keep it over there overseas. Yeah. The only reason why like it's kind of annoying is because that's another way of hijacking the show. When I understand that you bought a ticket and you can, if you want to cheer, you want to boo, you could do all that kind of stuff. If you want to sing because you got a ticket, I understand that. However, a show is being performed for you as the fan. You wouldn't go to a play on Broadway or off Broadway and start singing and chanting the actor's name rather than the character's name just to be annoying while everyone else is like, yo, I want to pay attention to this because I paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The thing is they somebody needs to get that distinction over to them, because what they're doing is they're chanting like they would at a soccer match. Because if you watch a European soccer match, they sing the entire time, and that's exactly what they're doing. They sing specific players and specific things. But it doesn't work when it's a fucking wrestling show that's trying to put on like TV and trying to entertain you, and you can't be singing for the AJ Styles as being a heel, and you can't keep singing that he's phenomenal just because you have a song in your language that says phenomenal. You nailed it with it. Treat it like a play. Like if you want to do something during the entrance a little bit, okay, fine. Or like you said, afterwards in a show of appreciation, great. But not during the fucking match. Jeez. Like, come on. Man. Yeah, no.
I don't know if it's because they're bored and I don't even know what they're bored. Just like, guys, stop it.
just stop it. And they're just singing like they would for their favorite soccer team in their cities or whatever. Like Lyon, like I'm sure the Lyon soccer team, the Olympic Lyonnais, that team, like I'm sure a lot of the chants they did at that event were straight just from that team, because that's what they were treating it like. But it's a show, it's not a sport, guys. It's athletic. It's sports entertainment. Let them entertain you. No, 100%.
Yeah, they can't. That started over in that European tour and it hasn't stopped since.
Yeah, well, because the problem, what happened is that people saw, like, there were so many people saying that, oh, look at these great European fans. It's so amazing. And the American fans were like, oh, well, hold my beer. We'll try our, and they were,
that's exactly how it happened.
It's exactly it.
Someone had a Zoom meeting and they were like, guys, hold my beer. America's going to do it 10 times as not. Which, by the way, I don't mind if like America like ones up somebody in a very friendly competition, but shit, who's the person that decided to do the meeting to be like, hold my beer? We're gonna pop this shit.
We're gonna just be annoying with it. Yeah, no, I don't.
That's the problem.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Hey, Jake, I have to see a man about a horse real quick. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
You're good, buddy. You're good. No, I think that's exactly what happened, and because I kept seeing it on Twitter or on other places, like, oh, the Americans, like, these fans are so much better. It's like, well, first off, they're going full out, all out, because they haven't had a show in their town or their city or their location in however many years. And so there's part of it there too. But yeah, because I've been to multiple shows here. I went to Raw this month. I went to SmackDown. I went to the first SmackDown of the year, like when Tiffany cashed in. The fans were loud. They were crazy. I went to the show, what was it, a couple of years ago, where John Cena was first coming back, or when John Cena was supposed to team with LA Knight here in Phoenix, but then LA Knight got COVID. But fans were loud at that show too. Like, the American fans are fine, and they do it. It's just because we don't sing song. I don't know. We don't do it for sports either. That's not our culture. It's not who we are, and that's fine. You know what? It's okay to be different, everybody. It's okay. We're fine.
Yeah. Which, by the way, on MLW, when we were at the main event of Kenta versus Matt Riddle. So There's this drunk fan, super fucking drunk, very, very drunk, very, very loud and vocal. You know, if Kenta would have punched him in the face, I would have been like, yeah, you fucked around and found out. Because the shit he was saying to Kenta gave him the only dagger eyes, okay? He gave him the dagger eyes and then like, you know, after a while he fucking understood, but he really didn't understand. I only bring this up because he started the Voices song, Randy Orton's song.
Oh, Jesus.
In the crowd, right? And Matt Riddle, like, sees this. and Matt Riddle, like, is chuckling to himself, and then he goes over to the corner, and he does the Randy Orton pose, because the fan and the rest of the fans started singing Randy Orton's theme song. And then after, Riddle got off the rope, Kenta was like, I'm not impressed. Like, what the fuck is going on? I was just like, oh my god, dude, like, shut up.
Yeah, no, and there it is. People trying to make it more about themselves, or you know, that's the definition of just being. It's the definition of obnoxious, but it's not surprising, but it's just stupid. And that's why wrestling fans get a bad name. Like it's not all of us, but the problem is the ones that are bad are loud like that, or the ones that don't shower really stink, so they make the rest of us terrible. Yeah, no, that's why I didn't go to the to Double or Nothing when it was in Glendale in May, because I was like, that arena is good. I can't, like, it's already 100 degrees. If these people aren't showering, no, I'm not going. And two of my buddies went because they got somehow randomly got free tickets, and it was weird that there was just free tickets all of a sudden for that show. But a couple of my friends went, and that was the thing. The text that I got was, "Oh my god, the smell." The smell, and then the weak merch. They sent me pictures of the weak merch stands, and so they had terrible merch, and it stunk.
I walked back in, the nice smell. Awesome.
Well, I mean, it was an AEW show in Arizona in May. Like, just the smell. Like, just think of how that would. Yeah, hence why I didn't go.
Yeah,
Marie, are you following the ups and downs of AEW, or have you
listen, whatever Twitter tells me and whatever my fans tell me, that's how I stay updated. For anyone out there that keeps saying, you gotta watch the whole show. No, I don't. Like, I really don't. Like, nothing happens except for, like, I don't know, yeah, I don't know, but nothing happens.
Or somebody almost gets killed. Like, that's what ends up happening. Yeah. Or somebody almost gets like a terrible injury again, or somebody does have a terrible.
They've done better with that lately. They've been.
Adam Cole.
No, they've been doing better.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, WWE's had more injuries lately than they have. So.
Well, maybe the Adam Cole one with Kyle Fletcher, and then I'm still not over Hook just getting concussed and puking, and then them hitting more moves on him. That still just really bothers me.
Yeah.
I just, but it is what it is. No, I'm with you. I'll watch certain shows. Like, I did watch some of the Grand Slam Mexico show because I wanted to see, you know, at least how they presented it. But then, you know, a 14-man tag match. How does that even work?
Listen, I don't know. It's lucha rules. There are no rules.
Lucha rules.
Like, I think it was because Jimmy Corderas was getting a lot of shit from the so-called, they hate him. And those people are not fans.
No, not at all.
Know. Like, listen, if somebody has to go on your tweets and tell you some stupid ass shit, or like some incoherent, like, scoffing that basically you don't know the lucha rules. Well, you don't know it either, buddy, if you're not telling me it. Like, why are you trying to talk shit to me and then be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about? I guess you don't know either, because you're not telling me, you're not sharing knowledge, but all these, bots and people or supposed people want to be like, I am bigger and better than you. I know more wrestling than you. It doesn't matter. I watch more wrestling than you ever would. How dare you don't know about lucha rules? You don't even pay for the fucking pay-per-view. You're not wasting your $50 on this. You're going over to a Discord. You're watching it in Discord. You're watching it on a illegal site. Like, we know what you do already. Stop trying to pretend like I know everything. Like, no.
Yeah, but especially for somebody like, Corderis, who was in the business for however many years he was in it and knows, and he's just telling you from his experience of what it is. And that's always, your experience is wrong. It's essentially what they're trying to say. Like, how does that even, no, your opinion is wrong. You can't have that opinion. Well, fuck you. I do.
And the thing that really bothers me is that, like, well, if you're gonna say that my experience is wrong, why the fuck are you still sitting on your couch, not getting any accomplishments, but you get upset at people who go out there and make shit happen? Like, I don't understand that. Like, that is the ultimate form of hating when you don't need to hate. If you're not liking something, go out there and go do something about it. If you are a fan of wrestling and you love wrestling, get into this business. But I will promise you one thing. It is not as nice and clean and unicorn and rainbows. It's not any of that shit. It's not glamorous. Like, I have seen things, heard things, experienced things. Nothing like to the extent of it being like super, 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 super bad and shit, but like experience things where you're like, okay, I can learn from that fucking mistake. Let me not do that again. Those kind of experiences. And like, I could tell you, it's not glamorous. These people, believe the dirt sheets and the people who sit on the armchair and start booking and start speculating. And then they think that they know the business. They don't know shit about the business. They don't know how promotions work. Most promotions don't even pay their wrestlers, their workers, their ring crew. Don't even bring food over or water and shit like that. People are still working on a hot dog and a handshake every single time they go to work. Right. But yet then these fans will get on their high horses and tell like Jimmy and myself that we don't know what we're talking about, will tell me that it's never gonna happen. WWE is gonna buy out New Japan and that's what you want. And it's like, I never said that. I could be very consistent in everything that I've said. I've never said that. But they want to do that for some odd reason to puff up their chest as if they're going to get a medal. You guys are not going to get a medal. Not at all. You guys are just going to be in your bubble, be in your echo chamber, and you're not going to do anything with your life.
It's back to those imaginary trophies you were talking about earlier. Yeah, that's exactly what they're giving us. These are the same people that think that that either think that they could or follow people that think that they could book NXT better than Shawn Michaels had in the last few years. Like, you're just like, if for anyone to actually not only think that but vocalize it publicly, like you're just like my brain, I can't function.
I totally get it, dude. Stupid. Listen, I'm hyped up because I had to talk about the fucking wrestling drama just because I said I'm hoping MLW to save New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I was met with an emotional person, and then the saddest part is that when they lose, because what happens is that they want you to play their game and they want you to be as emotional as they are, and they want you to be in the conversation to be emotional, but it's like, no, I'm not playing your game. The moment you don't play their game, the moment that you bring up facts, like you're sticking to the point, they tend to talk shit about you in Spanish, and that shit fucking bugged me, okay? I am half Spanish. I am Puerto Rican. I'm Italian. And I'm like, you guys are talking shit to me in Spanish as if like I don't understand. Okay?
That's the best. That's the best.
And to call me a gringo when it's like, no, that shit doesn't apply to me. Why the fuck you calling me that? So dealing with that, making the podcast about that, and like setting all the records straight. So yeah, I'm a little hyped up and frustrated that like idiots who don't know how to read, who want to tell me and want to tell other people because your experience in the wrestling business is not valid because they haven't done shit with their lives, should not get over. And by the way, misrepresenting anybody's like speech when they don't say that kind of shit doesn't fly with me.
Nor should it. Good. I like it. No, if you're gonna be hyped up and fired up about it, good. I'm with you.
Listen, I'm an Aries. I'm hot blooded. I will defend myself if I need to. And I will go back and forth with people to be like, yo, you gotta get humble somehow, man. You gotta sit down.
You had an Italian and Puerto Rican. My grandmother was 100% Italian, and she was the most, she was like 5 foot tall and the most fiery woman I've ever met in my life. So I get it. I like it.
Yeah, man.
I like the passion. I'm always for it. That's what I like it.
It's also come to a point where people will be like, that like I'm anti AEW, I'm anti this, I'm anti that. And it's like, how can I be anti if all I want is for wrestling to improve, the industry to improve, especially when I experience certain shit, see certain shit, hear certain shit, know that some of my buddies don't get paid, and yet then these people are like, oh my God, don't have WWE become a monopoly. Like, my buddies can't even fucking eat. And you're worried about WWE becoming a monopoly when it's not really happening that way? Like,
no, but they were told it was by certain dirt sheet people or certain people that, used to interview for WWE and are now only post about how much they hate everything they do. And they believe these people.
And it's like, look, I used to work for WWE in 2018, and there were guys there that were, tenure, and they thought their shit didn't stink, but eventually they got fired too. But I have nothing but really good memories. I networked with a lot of people, talked with a lot of people there, became friends. But I'm not going to talk shit about a company that I always wanted to work for just because it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to do for years and years and years. But then again, in wrestling, they say, never say never, right? You could always go back. You could always build your portfolio, but all the other ones are bitter for no fucking reason. Come on, they gave you a chance. Some shit happens. It's the nature of the business. I've seen in promotions where people do a good job and then all of a sudden they don't get called back. Like if you want to know some more true shit about AEW is that one of the crew members that I was working with this past week was telling me how they were getting that rub of oh, you're doing good, kid, you're doing excellent, your matches are great, and then never get a call back after having 4 matches and doing what they are expected to do. AEW never called them back, and it's been I don't know, I think he told me 4 years or whatever it is. Yeah, so it's you guys are rooting for the one company that has a lot of baggage, and they haven't even apologized or even said, we are sorry for all this baggage. Give us another chance. Let's start over. Because they keep dragging that baggage and having Ricochet, say stuff on top of his head, the perception of AEW is not changing. And that's a concern. See, guys, a concern for all of the fucking, Twitter users, concern.
I've been putting the same, but it's funny when I see certain posts and then you try to look at it and I'm I've already been blocked by certain people that I've never interacted with. Cause I'm labeled in the same way of being a hater. It's no, I want it. All I've ever done is give constructive criticism for I want it to be better. It's great when there's more wrestling companies and more wrestling television. That's better for all of us. But it's not, this is not a subjective opinion. It's objectively not as good as it could be. I'm sorry, the stories, that's why the houses are down, the TV ratings are down. Yeah, but that's, they can't, people can't take constructive criticism anymore. George and I say it pretty much on all of our recorded podcasts. Leave comments. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Please help us out because we don't know. It's, it's a different, it's a generational thing. I feel in certain people that just can't take any sort of criticism.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's the way that people have coddled, the newer generation, and that, depending on what you see on your phone, because no one really goes out anymore. If they're scrolling through TikTok or something, they're gonna stop by a video and someone is gonna say, hey, don't listen to that person. Don't listen to your haters. I need you to fund my lifestyle because I'm right and I'm here to teach you guys. And they do the hair flip and, and people are watching this and subconsciously it gets stuck into their mind, to be this way, that it's okay, that you're not going to get any type of consequences. That's also the problem with the internet. Everybody is so comfortable with something that you can't go and punch them in the face or slap them in the back of the head just to be yo, cut that shit out. Back in the day, that shit used to happen, and then everybody was way more, polite, and they understood, and they were oh shit, okay, never mind, I'm so sorry. But nowadays, it's you can't fucking do that.
Yeah, people just say or do whatever they want. Yeah, no.
That's gone.
Yeah, oh no, it's absolutely gone.
Hey, Marie, as we bring things toward a close here, I don't normally do this, But if someone had a question for you, would you take a question from anybody out here?
Sure.
What's always post in the chat?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if anybody wanted to say anything before. I'm going to give people a shot. One time. I've never done this.
Okay.
No, we do have a couple requests in here. Let me go here. Looks like we got Julian Ward.
We're gonna do this and then redo our plugs and get out of here.
Yeah, no, okay. I didn't realize it was already passed. No, yeah, no, we're good. Let me approve. I got Julian here, and then it looks like Never Seen's back. We'll bring him in too. But Julian Ward, did you have a question, buddy? What was that, bud?
What?
Do you think Dominic will ever be in the bloodline?
Yes, I have no idea.
He asked for somebody was going to be in the bloodline, but you're kind of muffled there. He asked if someone was going to be in the bloodline, I think.
I have no idea who's going to be in the bloodline.
Type it in the chat too. No, I think we couldn't hear you from your speaker, bud. Sorry. But it looks like,
okay. So if you're asking about the bloodline and stuff like that on Instagram, I don't know, Loa has been teasing about like the new bloodline, and he has like Hikuleo in there along with him and Solo. But yeah, that's the only thing that I've seen. I don't know if they're gonna add more people. I'm just going along for the ride.
Yeah, when it comes to that's why I was saying earlier. I'm really interested to see what happens on Friday. Like, how are they gonna do that? No, I'm with you on that. Now, what's up? No, somebody else asked for coming to come in a question. Speaker from guy asked a question last week. Never Seen 17. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing okay.
Nice. Glad you came back. Yeah, I'm really excited to have you being a part of our show and hanging out with us. Do you have a question for us? Do you have something you wanted to say?
I didn't even know what we're talking about, so that's the thing.
We're just kind of that's kind of the beauty of the show. If we talk about it, pretty much anything. We've covered a bunch of different topics, but yeah, no, we were kind of opening it up to the audience if they had any questions or things they wanted to say and talk about here. We got Marie Shadows, she's a podcast expert. So, and I would say New Japan expert, but we've talked about how they've kind of fallen off, and
I'm still an expert.
Good. I like it. Yeah. Well, I guess the interesting thing too, when the booking is remedial as it is, you don't need to watch every episode. You can see it. That's when we were talking about AEW earlier. I tuned it there when we first started doing this. I hadn't been watching their shows in weeks, and we did a preview for their pay-per-view, and we got every single match right, or maybe one wrong for the 15. I'm like, that'll be it. And you want intricate storylines. Whether sometimes it can be overbooked and a little silly, but you'd rather the storylines make sense. Bring them there. What's up?
How's it going, Marie?
Good, man. I've been talking forever. Yeah.
It happens.
It's what we do.
Marie, Never Seen is one of our younger listeners.
I
know he's not in the good mood tonight. That's why I kind of asked him to come over. So
no, that was tonight. That was a couple nights ago, but I'm doing a lot better now.
Good.
I think I remember him. I think I remember. He follows me. I think his voice sounds familiar. So
yeah, I hosted a space a while back, and you joined with other people.
Yeah, and I was giving you advice. Yeah. Good. So what's up?
It's a good community we've got here.
But I wanted to talk about why in the hell is the IWC shitting on the Punk and Cena?
Language.
Let him go. It's fun. No, here's the thing. The IWC most of the people in that world there's two things about them. They have no patience and they're looking to complain. Whether it's it's the people that have been complaining about SmackDown being 3 hours and how much they can't handle that. They're going to be the exact same people are going to start complaining next week that, it's not enough time. These matches were too short. We didn't get enough time for these people on TV. They just want to complain. It's one of the things that drives me absolutely insane. Like, if there's something worth complaining about, I'm happy to complain. Let's talk about it. But when you're just like, hey, this is what we're going to complain about. Oh, that didn't really work. What about this over here? What about that over there? And it's just,
let's do this, bud. Let's let Marie do her plugs and get out of here, and then we'll stick around for another 15 minutes and talk to everybody for a little bit, okay?
Oh, okay, cool. Well, first of all, we could go talking about wrestling all day and all my things that I have.
It's what we do.
Yeah, man. So again, I'm Marie Shadows. Thank you guys so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming on. That was awesome.
I appreciate you guys so much. So you can, obviously follow me at Marie_Shadows right here on Twitter. You can also, subscribe to my YouTube, which is free, but also you can also join the membership as well. That is youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast. If you want to take it a step further, you guys can go over to my wrestling newsletter that you don't have to pay $14.99 for, and there are no lies whatsoever. But I do have some, awesome, content on there. It is marieshadows.substack.com. Also, if you find the Square Circle Podcast on Spotify, make sure you're following the Spotify channel, because it helps out. You'll never miss, an episode. And if you guys don't know, Spotify is good for video podcasting, and also you can leave a comment. So you can do that as well. You can expand. And if, you guys ever need advice on like what to do with your podcast and like clips and whatever you want, just reach out to me. I got you guys for any kind of advice. You're welcome. Also, I do have a Fourth Wall account. If you guys have not heard of Fourth Wall, it is like a Patreon. However, Patreon to me just doesn't fit the creative, vision that I have for like everything that I do. So what Fourth Wall does, it is for the consumer, and for the fans, by the fans, and they really do not take that much of a percentage. They take a flat rate of maybe like 10%. It's not like Patreon where you have to pick and choose. You automatically get, a merchandise website. So you can create any kind of merchandise that you want, from shirts to hats to tumblers to mugs to books. Apparently somebody created a calendar as well. You could create socks and workout clothes. Whatever you want, you could create it. And then you could also create your memberships, and then you could connect your Fourth Wall account to your YouTube to have people shop. You could connect your Fourth Wall to your Twitch account, so people can not only gift memberships or merchandise, they could also like, buy it from there too, and you can like set the prices.
There you go.
So I have a Fourth Wall. I suggest everybody to get a Fourth Wall if you're not happy with
I'm taking notes.
with Patreon, and you can do whatever you want with it too for your website. Like, I really adore Fourth Wall. The website is way too long to say on here, so just check into my bio and all the links that I have there. And that's about it. Soon I guess I'll say this here, cause I haven't really been able to like really sit down and talk about this, but I haven't done interviews for like half this year, which I'm slacking, but it's only because I've been building in the background, and I've been trying to build very, very thoughtful and not just jump into shit. Because I'll tell you right now, the one question that you guys didn't ask me was like how I got started in podcasting, which I know is a lame question, but I just have to bring it up because I did not know what I was doing. I jumped in head first right after I saw the cage match that had The Fiend versus Seth Rollins back in October, and I hated the finish. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm gonna podcast about it. But I knew nothing about podcasting, and here I am 6 years later, thanks to everyone that has been involved in one way or another on this crazy journey. So now I'm going to be doing a lot more thoughtful content, meaning I have a new show coming out that'll be for interviews called Crossroads. It has nothing to do with Cody Rhodes. But stay tuned for more info on that. But like that, you guys heard it here first about the name of the show. There's also Ringology, which is the reformatting of the tape study series, where not only am I going to continue when I can to break down wrestling matches, but also talk about wrestling terms, because the IWC uses wrestling terms wrong. The first episode is called Work. The second one is gonna be about marks, and I think the third one is it's gonna be about like shoots. But yeah, all of that stuff is available on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast, Spotify, my newsletter, Fourth Wall. Like, if you see me tweet about it, go check it out.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome.
Great, thank you so much.
Julian posted in the chat. He was asking if Bad Luck, if you think Bad Luck Fale will be in the bloodline. Yeah.
No, okay, so very just quickly after I put myself.
Take your time.
So unfortunately, Bad Luck Fale had an unfortunate death in the family, so he won't be part of like New Japan Pro Wrestling, with the G1 and stuff like that. So he's taking care of that. However, Bad Luck Fale runs, the New Zealand dojo that's by way of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling has New Japan Tamashi, which is for oh my god, my brain is like dead right now. It's for New Zealanders, that will soon make their way to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know when, but he's dealing with that. So he's not going to come over to the States, to be part of the bloodline, cause he's
older, isn't he? Yeah, he's looking at his 40s. Yeah, no, he's my age. He's 43. Yeah.
Yeah, he's way older. So he has all that on his plate. He's not going to be part of, the bloodline.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for answering that, Marie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome. We really, really appreciate it.
Of course, guys. Like I said, I got you for anything. Hit me up if you need anything.
Yeah, you will. You'll hear
we see the same. Like, still working on a lot of that stuff. So you'll be hearing from me for sure. Thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Marie. Appreciate it.
So looks like
guys, we'll stick around for about 10 minutes. So if you want to talk about something, feel free.
Yeah, we still got no Never Seens in here. Isaiah requested to speak. I just approved him as well. So what's up, gang?
Yo, man, how y'all doing?
Good, buddy. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I just got back from work. What do you think about Night of Champions last night? What do you all think?
So it's funny. I had to catch up on it today because I went to Vegas on Thursday and came back yesterday afternoon, and I had to still catch. So last night I watched SmackDown. Today I watched Night of Champions. I mean, I enjoyed it. I knew, unfortunately, it was one of those things that wasn't going to be able to avoid spoilers, so I knew a lot of what was going to what happened. But
I just tend to leave Twitter until around.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I didn't see everything, but I caught certain things. Here's the thing. It's one of those weird things about the Saudi shows where is it better where they're now where the show is just one of the PLEs and part of the program, or before with the Greatest Royal Rumble and other those things that were just one-off kind of shows. It's a weird world.
I'd rather just prefer just to be, just do what they do. I mean, they did the show, on France, right? They did that when they were hosting SmackDown on France, the same as Backlash.
Yeah, they've been doing that more often now, where they've been wherever they'll go, depending on how it works out, they'll do either the Raw or SmackDown from those areas. That was when we were getting, again, most at March, where they were getting Raw at for me here in Phoenix in the West Coast at noon. It was all right, take a lunch break from work and we're going to watch Raw. Okay. Weird, but all right. But which I know some people are getting for, what was it? SmackDown on Friday was aired live. Well, I know they had some technical issues, but the international people got it live from at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock Eastern or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What?
Sorry, guys. I gotta go. I gotta host a space for someone.
All right, thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate you. Good to hear from you, my friend.
Yep, good to hear from you guys too. Hope you guys have a good one.
I like that.
I love it, man. I like it.
Host the spaces. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. That's great, man. That's good. It's good. We like to hear from the younger generation that actually has, the right.
As soon as I'm done, I'm going over there and barging in.
Yeah, George is coming in hot. Oh, we got somebody looks like Herman. I'll approve. Herman, what's going on, buddy? Wrestling. I just saw his profile. Wrestling fan of 40 years. I like it. What's up? We went from the younger generation to Herman. What's up, buddy? You got something you want to say? You're on mute. If you
turn yourself off mute and hop on in.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, for some reason, when you jump into the space, it automatically mutes you. If I could change that, I would, but it doesn't give me those options in the settings. I think it probably would if I paid for Twitter, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do that yet.
No, it wouldn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you there.
Right? Like I said, yeah. But what's up, buddy? What you got?
Yeah, I've watched Night of Champions, and I'll be honest with you. These shows are exactly what they are. It's $50 million in the pocket to provide fluff, and that's kind of what it was.
Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's one of those things, and we know that they want as many quote unquote stars as possible. There's certain things that's why they, that's why people are like, oh, this Rhea Ripley match doesn't make sense. I'm like, sure it does. She's a star. You want to put her in a match where she can do some cool shit and get over. She's a star.
That's why, when I told you behind the scenes, I wished they would just make the Saudi shows just their own thing and not be any storylines. And
You're right.
Because they want the people they want.
And I feel like that.
I think Joey said during the show, the customer is always right. This is what this is for the customer. The customer is always right.
No, for sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think over the years, though, I think the Saudi fans have gotten a little smarter to the product. Definitely. Like at the show, I noticed, for example, everybody knew Jade Cargill was going to win that match, but the fans, they went with Asuka. They were just kind of going against the grain there. It's like with John Cena and CM Punk, they went against the grain because, Cena's been getting some pops during this run, which is kind of surprising, being that they're trying to, put him in as a heel.
Yeah, the Asuka thing I understand because Asuka's huge over in Saudi.
Especially over there. But you're definitely right that the fans have gotten not only smarter, but they're definitely more involved than they used to be when you used to watch the shows, where it was almost like, it almost felt like there was like an applause sign somewhere they could see, and then when it lit up, they cheered. Like, as we're now, they're much more into it. And I do feel like it seemed like it was last year, and hopefully they'll do it again for this year, where they had that, like, the show in November of last year or whatever, where Cody and Liv won those silly belts that nobody really cared about. Like, those shows were more of like the old style, where it's like, yeah, it's a fun show with some decent matches, but nothing important really is going to happen. You're not going to have any major storyline issues. That's why it was surprising that there was, the Hikuleo debut, but really wasn't that surprising in the storylines if you thought about it when they announced the match. But it's just surprising they had an actual debut in Saudi.
I was surprised that Aleister Black made his way over there, because I remember a long time ago that he was one of the people that was banned from going to Saudi.
Oh, he was banned?
Yeah, because of his tattoos. They said that some of them were kind of demonic.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
which they are.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of them probably are. Like with the devil heads and yeah. Well,
I'm surprised the Fiend came over there.
Yeah, and that's been the thing where you've seen a lot more where they, WWE promotes, and it seems kind of silly that they have to, WWE changes the world or whatever that promotion was that they did. But you kind of do see it where there is more, involvement there, and that people are, I don't know if they're embracing more of the Western culture, but it seems that on a certain level of it. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm not a big,
Oh, I get it, but it's wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrestling's always had that thing of bringing people together, whether you want to admit it or not.
I mean, go back to the stories of, Sputnik Monroe getting they had the segregated sections where his fans were up top, and he's like, I want them down here. You're absolutely right. It's always been part of that, because it's one of those things that it is kind of a universal entertainment. It's one of those things that it can connect with everybody almost on a different level.
Yeah. One thing we're gonna bring it up when we talk on our recorded show on Tuesday. But yes. One thing that's really been noticeable lately is the way I've made fun of AEW for treating the referees like shit. But WWE is doing their fair share in doing that. We had a referee take a shoulder bump and was out for 15 minutes. And, I'll talk more on that later.
For sure. And everyone, please subscribe. YouTube.com/@AltJake.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up here. So give your plug.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I'll get this Spaces. I'll get the full version of the Spaces recording up on our YouTube page by the end of the night. Yeah, I'll get that posted up for us. So, and then we do a recorded show, like George said, every week, and then we usually do a classic match review every week or every other week as well. Everything right now.
We have Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, 1993 King of the Ring.
Yeah. Well, and we'll sneak into the CM Punk versus John Cena at WrestleMania or at SummerSlam 2011, because we already did the Money in the Bank one, and
same exact match.
Yeah, but we can still
it is same thing.
Yeah, but it was funny when the match during Night of Champions where they said that was the last time CM Punk had beaten John Cena. I thought that was pretty funny to hear. But everything right now is on YouTube at youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn. But I am working. I was glad Marie Shadow said it. I'm working on getting us on Spotify. When I saw there was the video option, it was like, oh, well, I can post a bit. So we will be on Spotify soon as well, and the other podcast platforms. Like, share, subscribe, hang out with bring over your friends to the spaces if they want to ask questions or if they want to get involved with and listen to what we have. Please, that's kind of the biggest thing is more word of mouth. We just need more people.
Yeah, remember
share
subs don't cost anything.
Yes, it's absolutely free.
Is that something? That's something.
Yeah. There's subscriptions, not memberships. It's absolutely free. You just got to click the little subscribe button on YouTube. Maybe one day once you get enough subscribers, we can possibly have memberships. But even so, we'll always have free content. These shows will always be free. The main at AltJake Takes On episodes, the Spaces episodes, everything. We want to be more involved. That's kind of the thing. We're pro wrestling conversationalists. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Please go subscribe and we will catch you next week. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. Thanks, man. Take care.
Absolutely.
All right, take care, guys.
We appreciate it. Thanks everybody. Peace.